I'm your host, Cindy, and joined by the co host, Elijah. We took off a minute because my spirit has literally been grieved about what's happening in this country at this present time. First, we want to just send our condolences out to Charlie Kirk and his family. Yeah. Because no one should be gunned down for freedom of speech. And this is something that Charlie believed in. But I feel like a muzzle is being put on American citizens. That's something that he was totally against. So, but the aftermath that was going on is like when he was shot down by Tyler, and I don't know how that it so happened that it fell on the HBCUs. How are Black people responsible for what happened to Charlie Kirk? And it's like it's escalating, like waiting for Black people to do something to white people in order to act violently towards Black Americans. And I'm grieved by it because I felt like Trump was trying to bring this country together for all Americans. I really believe that Trump was put in office because at a time like this that we were spiraling down and we needed true leadership. But I did not see it coming that Black community would be his focus, because I was looking at Trump from his first term where he was supporting Black people. He was the one that did the First Step Act. He was the one that was supporting HBCU. So I was shocked to find out his true, I don't know if this is who's he's always been, but he had hidden it well, because it's like the Republicans aren't taking it into account that Trump received more Black votes than any Republican, even more than Reagan. I think they said in the last 30 years. So Trump was gaining support for the entire Republican Party, because so many Black people for so many years, including myself, every time an election comes up, whether it's local, national, the presidential election, that I always have voted straight down Democrats, because the Republicans were the enemy. And this is how I have always voted. So just to come to this, that I'm like, wow, I really agree with what he's been doing and what was going on. But now he got what he's doing to the Black community. I'm not, there's no way that I'm in favor with the attacks that's going on inside of my community. Black Americans have worked hard in this country, and people try to label us as lazy, even though we built this country. We're being falsely incriminated, not just people that have committed crimes, because people commit crimes in all different ethnicities. And just to single out one community and just to highlight Black crime, like that's the crime of the world, and that it's a lie. So now, like, I had so many family members and so many people saying you shouldn't vote Republican, you shouldn't vote for Trump. But then I was like, look at the Democratic Party. They was behind the Ku Klux Klan. They were against the Civil Rights Bill. They tried to filibuster. It took 70 days. They tried to overturn the Civil Rights Bill. Then I looked at Biden. He did the 1994 crime bill that caused mass incarceration of Black people. And guess what? He was saying the same rhetoric that Trump is saying right now. He's using the same playbook. He was saying, "Oh, you'll be so much safer. Lock up the black men." And then they talk about why Black fathers aren't in the household, whereas the Black fathers who were being arrested, they weren't murderers and rapists. They were getting arrested and giving life sentences for minor crimes. They were taken out of the household. And then Black women were left to raise their children with the absence of the father. And it's like we're repeating history. And that's why with him wanting to erase history is a terrible thing to do. Trying to get rid of slavery happened. Everybody knows it. It's not a secret. You're not going to be able to run from that. But we don't walk around talking about it because we moved on from it. But we're not going to forget about it. You don't forget what has happened. It makes us grow as people. And now we have so many blended families that consist of black mothers, white fathers, vice versa, Hispanic mothers with white fathers. I mean, we're a blended nation. And I really felt that he was trying to bring us together as one nation under God. But all of this trying to hold up black pictures and black people violent, now they want the black children because now the farmers are complaining that they need people to pick their crops. Black people are not going out there to pick their crops. But you know, slavery is inside the jails. During 1994 crime bill, they built more prisons because prison is a business, big booming business. So they need people to fill it. This is how they could put people out there on those farms, whatever, because the farmers are complaining about tariffs. They're complaining about a lot of things right now. So his big bright idea, he said, regardless of the crime, they're not talking about murders and rapists, because everybody knows throughout the United States, crime is down. Every state can prove crime is down. Whether it's a red state or a blue state, crime is down. And nobody's going to solve 100% of the crime anywhere. And I feel like the National Guards for American citizens, when we have real adversaries out here that we should be focused on. While Trump is going after, appears to be going after black Americans, meanwhile, President Putin and President Xi of China, they're having meetings together. They're collaborating together. They're trying to become a world power. I believe they're trying to become a world power over the United States. We're stronger against them individually, but not if they come together and include India. They're meeting and talking. China wants Taiwan. And we're not focused on the real threats to this country because we're imploding right now from the inside out. And what happened to Charlie Kirk, God, that was an awful thing, but that was by a white man. That was not, black people didn't have anything to do with what happened to Charlie Kirk. Nothing to do with it. And Charlie Kirk wasn't for black people. The things he was speaking about, he spoke down about black people. God didn't give anybody more capabilities than the next ethnic group. All our brains are the same and have the same capabilities. There's not a such thing that a white person has a higher learning capacity than a black person or an Asian person or an Indian. The only thing different that God made about us is our skin pigmentation. But as far as giving us 2 eyes, 2 ears, a nose, a mouth, fingers, feet, all our body parts inside out are the same, So all of this false narratives that's going on, and it's coming from the presidency. And I'm calling out the Congressional Black Caucuses. Had these people, it's funny how these organizations have these big freaking titles, but when you need them to speak up, when you need them to be a voice for Americans, for all of us, be a voice for all of us, there you can hear pin dropped. Same thing as the NAACP. They want to come out, I have this title, I'm the president of the NAACP, I'm the president of the ACLU, or these presidents. Where are y'all? Because everyone is watching these injustices. And when you have the president giving these false narratives concerning black people, then you have people who aren't stable. They listen to him. And we're not leading the way. Because we didn't have anything to do with what happened to Charlie Kirk, which is, no matter what he represented, it was wrong. It was wrong. But it wasn't by us. So why did HBCUs have to go on a lockdown?
Luke, to say that you're just not an educated person to even say that.
They went on lockdown. HBCUs had to go, 5 HBCU colleges, which I will show. I'm going to back up everything that I'm saying. But, they had to go on lockdown because of threats, which had nothing to do with Charlie Kirk. These are college students getting an education so they can become productive citizens. That's what you're supposed to want. They're not running in the streets. They're not thugs, which is, the label that's trying to put on black people. When black people aren't thugs, they're no more thugs than a white or a Hispanic or an Asian. This DEI labels are put on black people is wrong when we didn't even benefit from DEI. White women did. Everybody knows the truth at this point. And it grieved my heart to find out that the president is not for all the people. I really believe he was for all of us. Because you can't have one geographic of people doing well and the others aren't. You can't go on a news station and say you want something like the big W, like what Fox News said, that this is the big W in the communities with American citizens. And then they were saying that the homeless, that they need to be injected, like euthanized or something. I mean, they said something like they don't even need to be existence when Jesus said go out and feed the poor, clothe the poor. And they're supposed to be the Christians. And that's why I lean towards the Republican Party, because I believe that the Republican Party had Christian values. You're not supposed to discard the homeless like trash. That's what some of the homeless in Washington said. They said I feel like I'm trash, they were saying. Because they're homeless. So they were saying on Fox News they could just put them in jail if they don't want to cooperate. They lock them up as criminals because they are homeless. Or better yet, let's just, be done with them. That's not what Jesus says. Jesus came, he was feeding the poor. He was clothing people. That's what we are supposed to do if you say that you are a Christian. See, a lot of people try to use their word loosely. I always tell myself, just because somebody said they're a Christian, don't mean they're a Christian. It goes by your actions. And I lean towards the Republican Party because God is not in abortion. God is not in same-sex marriages. God is not in LGBTQ. God is not about these sinful acts. I don't support that because Jesus don't support that. But when you have people screwing out racism and dividing the nation from the head up, that's not good for any of us while we have international issues. While we're busy trying to implode here in America, they just waiting for the next thing to happen. The next thing to happen. Because there's always a plan that we don't keep up with. Everything that's going on right now in this government is planned out. Every action that's taken, there's a blueprint for it. None of this is by chance. And what keeps happening, the leadership keeps flooding the airways. Look at this picture. Criminal. Let's show the black people. Get it all in Americans and even foreigners. People who are illegally here are looking at black people like we're the criminals because that's what's being put out there. That's what's being said unjustly. Because people don't differentiate. Every white person is not running around being a school shooter. Everybody's running around did not go on a roof with a rifle and, God forbid, shoot Charlie Kirk. We didn't do that. And every white person is not guilty for everything that's happening in the white community. And it's not highlighted. Just like things that's happening in the black community, certain places are highlighted so much that people think it's all of Black America when we are middle class, upper middle class, multimillionaires and billionaires. We're well-to-do, we're entrepreneurs, we're architects, scientists, engineers. And guess what? We have to graduate at the top of our class. We can't just pass in college. We have to be top dog. That's because we have something that we have to prove that we're not given something when nothing has been given to black people. We have to earn everything. And even when we start amounting to be what God called us to become, then there's always this, here comes this suppression. Or they're getting too big for their britches now. It's time to take the fathers back out the household, take the sons, stop the reproduction of black people. Let's sterilize the black men under federal custody. See, all this suppression is done by whom? And then they want to say we're the threat. And we're the threat. We have never been a threat to this country. We were brought to this country. We have never been the threat. All the things that have happened to us, and even in 2025, why in 2025 am I online with this conversation that should be behind us? But all of the hate, they want to, stir up hate, get the focus on black people is always the target, when that's not our community. We have given and we have built this nation, and we continue to give, and no matter what, we are still the scapegoat about everything, and it has to stop. And it's going to come to fruition, because what's inside this country now, this is not the same country, you guys. It's not the same country of yesteryear. The last 4 years, this country has changed. We could bring in over 14 million homeless people, house them in luxury apartments, give them Medicare, Medicaid, SNAP cards, give them benefits, give them driver's license, give them a free college, give them free education, give them everything. But we can't do nothing still today for our homeless Americans and vets. Ain't no money for them, right? But we could spend $72 billion on people that have illegally entered this country. But we can't. We're right now, they were holding funding for programs that keep crime down. Programs that the people go in and start programs that they can get jobs, get the education, get the help. You remove the programs and there's no hope for the communities, you're going to have crime. So that's all planned out. It's all planned out because they want to arrest. Oh, and they're arresting anyone and everyone. Not murderers and the rapists. Just if you're black, you can get arrested. That's like we going backwards in time. This is what's going on. What, they're gonna have apartheid here in the United States? I don't know what's going on. It's like, when are we going to come together? What it's going to take for us to come together as one nation under God? And guess what? God is still sitting on the throne, that everyone's going to answer for their part. Because a lot of these men who are in charge, and they think they the big dog, and they wheeling and dealing, and they keeping us divided, keeping us going after each other when we haven't done nothing to you. They're going to answer to God, because there's no all-white section in heaven, or black, or Asian, or Hispanic, or indigenous. We're the human race. And God is not going to put any race over another. Like what's going on here. Like what's going on here is wrong. And people are later in age, and they're going to have to stand before God sooner than later. And they still want to play these games and treat God's people any kind of way. You might get over here. You might get over with all your wickedness and all your divisiveness, everything that you're doing. But you're not going to get away with it with God. And I couldn't even come on here for a while. And this is later than I usually come on, a lot later, because it literally been grieving my spirit. This stuff is grieving because I see God give you, I see the blueprint. I see the plans. I see everything that they're doing. I see what's going on here in this country. And they're going to keep feeding it and getting certain people riled up. Look at them black people. Yeah, look what's going on. Yeah, they're getting, people emotional when we didn't even have anything to do with what's going on. How does this happen that Tyler takes out Mr. Kirk and black people get blamed? He doesn't even get blamed. The left gets blamed. It wasn't the left. It was one person that acted. It was one person that did this, that's responsible. But we're so busy labeling, the elections are over. And I'd like to see 2026, Because right now, the game that Trump has had with the black community, he's not doing what we want. He keeps saying, this is what we want. No, it's not. No, it's not. The only people who will go along with this are people who are selling out their own people. And that's a few people. But the majority of us, 99%, this is not what we want. This is not what we want. We're not the leaders in crime. All of these lies that are going on is wrong. And you can't blame the left. You got to blame the individuals who are responsible. I can't take all white people and every time I see them that we need to be like, if they're in a movie theater, you go in the market, or you go to college, you go to school, you go to your job, you got to be scared of all white people because you don't know which one is a serial killer, which one going to freak out. The pictures that are being painted. And then when there's people committing crime that are white, they got the schoolboy pictures, the high school. They're innocent. They're never labeled. They're never labeled as violent. And they done killed like 20 people. It's just unbelievable. But I'm going to be uploading and I'm going to be showing what they're not showing. Because even the day that Charlie Kirk unfortunately lost his life, there was a school shooting. I saw it right away. It wasn't even being broadcast until maybe, you saw more of it maybe a couple of days later. It just went like over the radar. No real coverage. Children shooting children. Children shooting children. And we're flying flags half-staffed. You would think that it was a world leader or a king someone. I don't want to start naming people's names. I want to, all of a sudden something happened to them. Like, that wasn't, we're doing this for a person who wasn't for all of us. And that's the truth. For his community, that's what they wanted. But he wasn't for all Americans. He downgraded and talked about less fortunate and other people of different ethnicities. And so you can read, Elijah, read what we had. But like, I had to take a minute to just come on here, and I'm going to be coming on. I'm going to be uploading. So make sure you share, like, subscribe, think about becoming a member, because one thing we're going to do, I'm not beholden, and let me be clear, to any man. I'm beholden to God. God is who I'll answer to. That's who I'll answer to. I thought it was on the laptop, the description. I'm beholden to God. I got to do right what is in God's eyes. And he laid it on my heart so thick that it was painful to watch this or even talk about it.
In this critical video, we take a deep dive into Donald Trump's long history of racial double standards, particularly how he overlooks white crime while repeatedly singling out black communities. From his silence on violent white extremists to his aggressive politics aimed at black-led institutions, we explore the political motives and racial bias behind his actions. Why does Trump continuously feed narratives that demonize black Americans while remaining silent on white offenders? What does this message send and who benefits from it? Watch now as we break down the patterns, expose the hypocrisy, and ask questions others often won't. It's what we're doing in this live stream, and I guess I'm late to the stream, but yeah, we can't support this, we can't support this.
You got to hit that and please like, share, and subscribe. Like, we're going to dive in, but we have to be mindful. Like, either people just want to be lied to and they don't want to know the truth, because people rather be angry and people rather be mean, especially online. These are, you have your internet, these are everyone that has something to say, they'll say it online, but their neighbors, the people on their job, their bosses, their bullies at work, they don't say anything to them. And people, I don't know what's going on, but I hope that we get as a country in a better place. And I thought that's what Trump was going to do, to be honest. Because I wholeheartedly, he was like my bragging points. Trump never did the 1994 crime bill like Biden did. They caused mass incarceration of black men, saying, "Oh, if you lock black men up, then everyone's safe." That didn't work because crime wasn't black people just committing crime. All ethnicities commit crimes, and we don't even commit it at the highest rate. But we get charged over sentenced more than everyone else. We're arrested 5 times more than anyone else. So it's injustices in the judiciary system for black people. And black men supported Trump. And now to turn around, this is like a slap in the face. And he knows how the judiciary system is because what they try to do to him. And that's why he had the black support. But like I was like, okay, 2026, 2028, the Republicans are going to get more black votes than ever before because you need the black vote to win. So if they think they're going to try to do like you're going to win without us, it's not going to happen. So all of this attacking the black community, attacking our children, trying to lock up black people unjustly. If you go to Washington, D.C., if you're black, you can't even walk down the street if you're a male without being stopped.
Imagine if I was down there.
Without being stopped. Just going about your day. Do black people, are they in the restaurants? Or are you safe if black people aren't when black people have money just like white people and if not more? And that doesn't matter because once you have a negative stereotype that's going on that continues to plague our community because of mainstream media and people who are in charge, because no matter if it's the Democrats, they do us wrong. And now if it's the Republicans, like now we're being done wrong as well. Like I'm saying, okay, the Democrats been doing all this to black Americans. They did all this harm, suppression, the Section 8, kept us under, never gave us an anti-hate crime bill, they never came through with any promises because they wanted us suppressed. And so now we go over to the Republican side that that never promised us anything, and we're trying to go over there, and now there is a literally threat to our community.
It's funny you saying black fatigue out of all the things white people have done to people of this country, such as Native Americans and black people.
Yeah, but it's funny how the phrase, how could you say black fatigue when all that has been done to, it's white fatigue. Isn't it amazing how that was flipped? What is it, white entitlement? Is that the new saying we need to go on Twitter that's now known as X? Say white entitlement? It's like a slap in the face to black people that feel like, even look at this stuff that's going on. And if you say something, people who don't have anything in them, that you're going to say something like that. I'm going to show you the result of this is the result that happened to HBCU threats. Everybody heard about this. Why? That this guy, Tyler, shoots Charlie Kirk, take his life, something awful.
Yeah.
His children didn't deserve to be grown up without a father, nor his wife. But it's like they act like they're trying to declare something. I don't know. I'm trying to read. I listened to his wife whole, when she came and spoke to everyone. I don't even know what that was all about, but I'm going to leave it alone. Just listen to her message. It wasn't endearing. It wasn't like getting this country on the right track. There's a divide that's there. And as long as we keep talking about the left, the right, the left is getting blamed for stuff that they didn't even do. Tyler he was a Republican, his family is a Republican, all are Republicans. But the Democrats are still being blamed, the left and whatever way. He did it. This was done by him. Not HBCUs. Not the left. Not all these people that everyone is trying to blame. He's responsible for this. He's the one that has to answer to God for what he's done, for his actions. He's the one that has to stand before God. And this is like, what the HBCUs are going through. This is ridiculous.
Activity effective immediately. They say the safety and well-being of our students, faculty, staff, and visitors remain our highest priority. All campus activities and classes are canceled today and tomorrow to include all athletic events and activities, and campus community is encouraged to conduct any meetings and remotely. So we are continuing to follow this. We also have a number of other tweets that I did want to share with you. This from Southern University and A&M College stating that this university also has received a potential threat to campus safety and is on lockdown. They say that the lockdown applies to the entire Baton Rouge landmass, which also includes Southern University Law Center, Agriculture, Research and Extension Center, and the laboratory school. They say if you are on campus, you should shelter in place until further notice, as the university is working with law enforcement agencies. We also have a number of other posts that we want to get to. This is from Alabama
bind you up in the
State
name
University,
of Jesus.
as it has now canceled campus activities today, stating that the campus will be closed for the remainder of the day. Campus police, along with other law enforcement agencies, are actively clearing all buildings on campus. Once your building has been cleared, it says you will be permitted to leave only through the front entrance of your building. They say this is for your safety right there. So we are continuing to follow a number of other ones, including Virginia State University, stating that this university has received a threat to campus out of an abundance of caution. VSU rather remains on lockdown. Please continue to check for updates. And this final one that I did want to bring in, this is from Bethune-Cookman University, stating that due to a potential threat to campus safety, as a precaution, the university is currently on lockdown. All classes have been canceled. Students should return to their dorm rooms and shelter in place.
Fox
All
News.
faculty and staff should
This
head
is Fox
home, and
News.
those not on campus should plan to work remotely. Safety, they say, is our first priority, and we will continue to provide updates. So that is the very latest as we continue to follow all of these developments right here. We are working to gather more information just in terms of what these potential threats are, but out of abundance of caution, 5 different HBCUs are on alert after threats. This is a live look right here from Daytona. This is the area where Bethune-Cookman University is and now is currently on lockdown. So we did want to share the very latest with you, as
Fox
5
News.
HBCUs are
Fox
on
News,
alert after
not
threats.
my
Many
news.
of them on lockdown, also canceling classes for today, and also we saw at least one of them canceling classes tomorrow as well, out of an abundance of caution. We are continuing to follow all of the very latest, and we of course will bring any additional information as it happens.
Yeah, it's funny how this channel was started because that I did not want Trump to be the fall guy from that past administration that I felt like did a horrible job. That you had a former President Biden that was absent on duty. He was a president that was on vacation 40% of his presidency. And Trump was handed over like this inflation, bad economy, like the country was just spiraling down. We had the war going on between Russia and Ukraine and Gaza and Israel. All is like we were like the world was imploding and America was losing their stance in the world. Like we were losing our leadership. Even when President Biden was in Brazil at a summit, they were taking the pictures of world leaders, and China was President Xi was standing in the place of President Biden. So we were losing respect from other countries as powerful as the second most powerful country in the world, which is Russia, followed by China, and probably followed by India. They're all best buddies right now. So that's why I started the channel. I felt as though that Trump did the First Step Act. He was for Black people. He wasn't a racist. I felt like he was going to bring the country together. The things that's going on now, I am shocked. I'm shocked.
Let down.
I'm truly let down. I went against my family, went against everyone to support him. And I was looking for 2026 2028. So if there's any Republicans on here, MAGA, that's what we were doing. You can see my viral video that I have over 1.5 million people. And I'm saying that last time I supported Biden, you can see me with Biden because I've been in position. This is not, I'm just not anybody talking to you. I was actively involved with the congressmen, congresswomen, having national positions, all 9 yards. And I'm on the video talking about, but this time Trump. I didn't see this coming. I felt as though that he was the man for the job. And just a few months into his presidency, the Doge young man had gotten beaten up in Washington by black teenagers, and that triggered him for the National Guards, the FBI, the DEA, all these different agencies to police the District of Columbia. All of that. That's not all black people, what a few have done. And then you want to take the children and you want to lower the rate that you could keep these children, like he said, for a long time. So irregardless, not the ones that committed murder. That's the one he tried to hold up. Somebody did a heinous crime. But that's not the ones that they want to do the life sentences. They want to take any crime because he's saying, oh, lock them up now. This is irregardless of how minor the crime is. This is what they did with the 1994 crime bill. But I see them now because this is the same playbook. So his thing, you lock them up now because 10 or 20 years from now, they'll be the criminals of tomorrow because they're born criminals, he said. Didn't he say that they were like, I got to find it, that he said that you got to lock them up now. I'm going to find that press conference because they're going to be like the criminals of tomorrow. So, you take care of them now. It's on a video, and I'm going to get the video for you guys. I'm going to try to find it now.
I got to get rid of him. He's spamming.
I'm going to show this video, and then I'm going to find the video where Trump is talking about how it's important to lock the black children up now because years to come, they're going to be the next criminals. So, get rid of them now.
Like people in the comments,
this better not be Republicans. These are who we were supporting. So if the Democrats are supporting us more, then this is really topsy-turvy.
I guess the people in the comments are used to other channels, but how could you expect us to be in support of what Trump has been doing and saying and going against our community? How do you expect us to be for that?
Yeah, and Clinton's, they another Democratic, he signed it into law. Biden was the author of the 1994 crime bill, and President Clinton signed it into law and even added more stuff. So our community continues to be attacked, and here we go again. And you know who supported that crime bill? The NAACP, Reverend Jesse Jackson, Congressional Black Caucus. We were all convinced, oh yeah, locked up the black men, lock up, then we're going to be safe. That was a lie from hell.
And trying to remove slavery from the museums.
Yeah, going after the Smithsonians. Don't want to see how the cruelty that was done to black people. Want to erase history, but we're going to put up Confederate statues. We're going to keep that memory, but we want to erase black history. We're not ashamed of it. It happened.
I knew it was something.
It happened. And nobody can erase our memories because no matter what you do, there's books around the world that's going to show it. It's people around the world that knows about it. You're not going to be able to erase it no matter what he tries to do. But why would you do that?
I knew there was something weird going on when they invited that guy that took the life of the Michael Jackson impersonator to the event.
And the reason why, that what really made me upset, because the more rhetoric that goes on out here, then you're going to have people committing crimes on black people. You're going to have, even though none of the college students trying to going to school to get an education, to become productive citizens out here, the college students, colleges were being threatened. And now this young man, Trey Reed, found dead at a Delta State University. And we're going to find out how he died. Because the way that he died is code for what? This is terrible.
15th, 2025. The campus of Delta State University in Cleveland, Mississippi, was struck by tragedy when the body of 21-year-old student Demartravian Trey Reed was discovered. His body was found hanging from a tree near the university's pickleball courts, a central part of the campus where students often gather. The discovery sent immediate shockwaves through the university community and quickly spread across local and national news outlets. In the hours that followed, questions began pouring in. Was this an act of violence? Or was it something else entirely? The uncertainty fueled speculation online, and rumors quickly spread across social media. Students and community members shared their fears, and within hours, Trey Reed's name was trending far beyond Mississippi. Let's begin with the official statements. According to Delta State University Police Chief Michael Peeler and Bolivar County Deputy Coroner Murray Rourke, there was no evidence of foul play at the scene. Law enforcement stressed that the broader campus community was not in danger and that no suspect was being sought. This statement was intended to calm fears, but for many, it only raised more questions. The coroner's early examination of Trey Reed's body added another important detail. Despite online rumors and claims circulating that Trey had been beaten and suffered broken limbs, Rourke stated that there were no signs of broken arms or legs. This contradicted claims made by some family members and amplified in a viral TikTok video, which alleged that Reed had been the victim of racial violence. In that video, a relative claimed that Trey had been attacked, left with severe injuries, and then left hanging. But the coroner's initial report did not support these allegations. Instead, officials suggested that Trey Reed's death may have been self-inflicted, though they stopped short of making any final conclusions. Out of respect for the ongoing investigation, the coroner made it clear that a complete autopsy would be necessary before releasing definitive answers. The Mississippi Bureau of Investigation has now stepped in to assist with the case, ensuring that every possibility is explored. This adds weight and seriousness to the inquiry, given that MBI typically becomes involved in cases that draw public attention or controversy. For Trey Reed's family, friends, and the Delta State University community, the involvement of a higher-level investigative body is a sign that the case is being taken seriously. At the same time, social media has been playing a huge role in shaping public perception of Trey Reed's death. The spread of a graphic video of the scene caused both outrage and heartbreak. Many online users expressed grief and demanded justice, while others criticized the insensitivity of sharing such disturbing images. In fact, the Reed family themselves publicly asked people to stop circulating the footage, emphasizing their pain and requesting privacy. This plea from the family highlights the human side of the story. Behind the headlines and social media speculation is a grieving family, mourning the loss of a young man whose life ended far too soon. For them, the rumors and the viral spread of the video only add to their suffering. Meanwhile, Delta State University has responded with measures to support its students and staff. Classes and events scheduled for that day, including centennial celebrations, were canceled immediately. Counseling services were offered through the O.W. Riley Counseling Center, and the campus chapel was open for prayer. The university also announced plans for a community prayer service, aiming to help students and faculty process the grief together. This tragedy has raised several difficult but important conversations. One is about mental health awareness. Even though the official cause of Trey Reed's death has not yet been determined, the possibility of a self-inflicted death has reminded many of the ongoing mental health crisis facing young adults, particularly college students. Advocates are calling for stronger support systems, easier access to counseling, and greater awareness of the warning signs of mental health struggles. Another conversation centers around the role of social media. The way this story spread illustrates both the power and the problems of online platforms. On the one hand, social media drew attention to Trey Reed's death and amplified calls for answers. On the other hand, It also spread unverified claims, misinformation, and graphic imagery, which complicated the investigation and caused additional harm to those grieving. A third and equally significant discussion revolves around race and campus safety. The allegations of racial violence, even though not supported by initial medical findings, resonated deeply given the historical and social context of Mississippi and the demographics of Delta State University. These allegations fueled debates about whether students of color feel safe, supported, and protected on campus. Even without confirmation, the perception of racial violence is enough to reignite conversations about race relations in academic spaces. As of now, the investigation is ongoing, and the full autopsy report has not been released. This report will provide crucial information about the exact cause and manner of death, offering clarity on whether Trey Reed's passing was the result of self-harm, an accident, or an act of violence. Until then, speculation will continue, but it's important to balance the demand for answers with respect for the family's grief and the integrity of the investigative process. For Trey Reed's loved ones, no explanation can erase the pain of losing him. His death has left an empty space in their lives and in the Delta State University community. Students, professors, and staff are left mourning not only the loss of a classmate, but also the sense of safety and normalcy on campus. This case is a reminder of the fragility of life, the impact of mental health, and the importance of responsible communication in the digital age. It calls on universities to strengthen their support systems, on communities to stand united in times of tragedy, and on all of us to be mindful of how we engage with sensitive information online. As we await the official autopsy results and further updates from
Okay, he's just saying, he's just repeating himself on that one. It's just sad that where this happened at, and I just pray to God that the truth would manifest. You know, you don't hear about black people taking themselves out. He was in college preparing for a phenomenal life ahead of him, and it always like comes to this bull crap that they want to say when you he's found hanging from a tree. We don't take
Authorities say
ourselves
the
out
body
like that.
of 21-year-old Demartravion Trey Reed was found hanged from a tree by a faculty member near the pickleball courts. Word spread quickly throughout the Cleveland campus,
Self-inflicted,
leaving
right.
students and others concerned and worried.
Well, because I am a black student, hearing that happened to another black student, it really made me feel, it's make me feel unsafe. I do have to walk to class, and I like to go walk on the track, and it would be heavy to know like what happened.
Local and state investigators immediately started looking into the incident. DSU Police Chief Michael Peeler says investigators found no evidence of foul play.
But pending an investigation, further investigation, and also from
they tell me he might have broken bones.
Medical examiner's office.
He gonna get a rope,
we won't
tied
have more
up,
information
go to
until
school. We don't go out like
that part
that.
has been done.
And members of Reed's family are insisting on a thorough investigation.
Please, 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 please do your research on this. Do not let them sweep nothing else under the rug. Enough is enough.
University President Daniel Enos
Don't
says
let
the
them
discovery
sweep
left
it
him
under the rug.
heartbroken as he
Come on
extended his
now.
condolences to Reed's family
Mississippi
and
tree
friends.
hanging.
He
He's at
added
college.
DSU will
Right.
help students, faculty, and staff
Right.
with the grief.
Right.
We thank you for what.
Right. And see, you know what? People don't have that same because of the hate and evil that's been spreaded by the demographics in this country, that you don't ever hear of a freaking white boy hanging from a tree. You don't hear that, right? You don't hear that. The only time black people have been hung by trees have been by throughout the centuries or whatever by white people. Black people don't go. He's in college, not living in the hood, not in poverty, none of those, things that, that would be so inflicted that he gonna go get a rope and he just gonna hang himself. And it always happens, like to black young men. And people walk around, oh, no. That's like the worst way if you want to go or whatever. But you guess who knows the truth? God does. You know who knows who did it? God does. God does. And nobody's going to escape God. So whatever is done in the dark is going to come out in the light. But you know what? There has to be justice for the community, for my community. We should be hearing about no young black guy that's hung from a tree. And they like to sweep it under the rug. And they talk about, no, that's not our mental health. We're not serial killers. We're not those. We might do, every community is white on white crime, black on black crime, Hispanic on Hispanic crime, Asian on Asian crime. Yeah, in every neighborhood. You go to all white towns, I can show you right now. They're not reporting what's going on. Today, I'm going to probably do the story tomorrow. A white guy shot a cop, 15 times and 10 times in the head. Another white guy, part of the community, he shot a cop in the face. Another white guy, it was 3 med students that were black, med students. He went and killed one white guy. Yeah, he came over, pet my dog and all that. He talking about how, then the guy went and killed the 2 sister med students. They not showing all of this that's going on. That's not being shown. And something like this, following Charlie Kirk, and they had to lock down black colleges. Black colleges had to be locked down. And he's found hanging from a tree. They need to go to Home Depot, find that goddamn rope. Then let the FBI do their job. Let's see let them find where he on camera. He got a rope and he did all this, climbed the tree, all this, got up there. We know that's a lie from hell. It's gonna be proven. Ain't nobody do all that. You know how they backtrack, find the Home Depot, show him going in and getting all what he needed to do. Talk to his roommates and everyone. Was he even suicidal? Did he see anyone about being suicidal? They didn't say that on the news report. And this is following the Charlie Kirk. And of course, the first thing people want to do, even though the white guy, Tyler, was the shooter, the last shooter, because he still has to have his time in court, that shot Charlie Kirk. But he's not getting blamed for the shooting. They're blaming the left and they blame HBCU colleges, obviously, but they're not blaming the guy that pulled the trigger.
Then when they do crime, they sweep it under the rug.
They sweep it under the rug.
Like, we never heard about the guy that shot at Trump.
Oh, and Trump is in office, but nobody's looking up crooks. He had killed, that was in Butler, PA, Corey, the fireman, and still don't know nothing about his family, nothing about what happened, or nothing. That's swept when, we'll sweep that under the rug. That's swept under the rug. But if there was a black person, it'd be they'd be painting our whole community as violent. Look at them. Thugs, violent, all of that. That's what we get. And it's wrong. And that young man had a future. And he's God's child. You don't know what he could have cured cancer. You don't know what contributions that he could have made to society. But we got this evil running around and people trying to divide the United States of America. But do you know what's going to bring us together? Russia and China. Russia and China. Because while we imploding and our own government is coming after its citizens, not illegals, it's citizens. It's citizens. Now I remember even when my president got into office, he was talking about what entered this country. He was talking about, we got 350 terrorists, we got Venezuelan gangs, we got they let out their prisons, they let out their insane asylums, we got murderers running around, like 12,000 of them and 15,000 convicted rape. We got all this in this country, cartel, all of this, and it still came back to black people. We got all this going on in this country now. And black people are the threat. And crime is down all over the country. Crime is down. And the crime is the highest in 13 of the red states got higher crime than Chicago right now. But it's about going after the black communities. It is what it is. It's going after the black community. Even though crime is happening in every community. If you're in a red state, you having crime. If you're in a blue state, you're having crime. But thank God crime has gone down. But what's going to bring us together? It's going to be Russia and China and probably India. Because while we doing this, they collaborating. Putin is escalating his with Ukraine, and China, we all know, wants Taiwan. He's going to invade it. I don't know, it's going to be this year, next year, or whatever, but he's aching to get over there. And they're collaborating. They're coming together. And Trump is saying, why is Europe buying Russian oil? They're supposed to be going against Russia. They're buying Russian oil.
This is not watching from any news source. This is just common sense. Just putting 2 + 2 together.
You know, we're going to come together. We're going to come together. We're going to come together. Because while we doing all this, they plotting and planning. They plotting and planning because they want world dominance. And while we trying to go after, you know, we're all focused on this. And well, at least we're not talking about Epstein now. You know, we're focused on this now. So, you know, they're going to keep feeding the news source, you know, keep feeding the news circle. So, you know, control the news circle. And that's what happened to the young black guy that had nothing to do with it. And those kids need to be concerned. Their parents need to get them out of those schools. They need to go home. Get them out of the schools because it's not safe for them. It's already proven it isn't safe for them. It's not safe. That wasn't just someone who died. That was someone that was hung. And there's history about hangings in this country when it comes to black people. It's history there. It's history. I mean, there's history. They're not safe. Their parents need to go get them. They need to bring them home. Get them out of these schools because they're not safe. And just like that young cousin or his brother was saying, they want a thorough investigation. They know that what they're going to do. They're going to, I mean, every time there's a hanging, isn't that black people, black people not hanging themselves. Just like white people don't hang themselves. And you never hear about a white person being hung. They somehow they're not, and they're at college. They're at college having the time of their life. At college. New friends, new adventures, new goals. I mean, having good times too. Meeting new people. Preparing for life. This wasn't just somebody that was hanging out on a corner. This was someone that was trying to do something with his life. And it was sadly taken away.
Shirley, why are the most atrocious crimes that you hear on the news always not committed by a black person? It's always the same race. Answer me that. I know the truth hurts, but this is the truth, guys. We know who commits the mass shootings. We all know who, and you're just too afraid to admit it.
No, people know. Everybody knows. They let it be on the news cycle one day. and then they try to go back to black people and try to some mischief, makeshift crime. So, just to like, oh, see, I'm gonna prove my point.
You want to know what she said?
Who?
The comment I was replying to.
Well, they need to do a super chat or something like that. I don't think that if they want to be heard, if they want to say something, then they super chat or whatever. But if they don't, the thing about it, that God is sitting on the throne, and I could just show different stuff that they took it like a black young man that's living in a predominantly, of course, white town, because that's how they do stuff in numbers. And they attacked him. First, it was like 5 or 6 of them, or 10. Then it became like 16 white dudes jumping a black kid. But that's not gonna make any news. That's no big deal. But when the black teens jump and beat up the Doge guy, we got the National Guards was sent for there. But no National Guards was sent to Utah. National Guards are not being sent to where crime like that is happening. Nobody's been sending them to Colorado. How many mass shootings or killings has been there? So nobody is doing that. They brutally beat up this young boy, like 16 of them. 16. That's no big deal. This guy, I'm gonna do these stories another day, but just to give you an example, this stuff, they don't be talking about this stuff or showing this stuff because they want to just put like black people in the news, like black people are the leaders in all of what's happening in this country, the violent acts, and we're not.
It's not clear to investigators.
We're not. Let's see. I'll show a little bit of this.
Who's deceased, who was a husband and father. But we began with Channel 9's Demi Johnson, who has been on scene since we first broke the story on Eyewitness News at 5:30. And Demi, you asked the sheriff if he thought this may have been a setup.
Yeah, Greg, he called it an assassination. All of this happening at the Circle K right here, where you can still see crime tape up right now. But I want to show you what's happening outside of this crime scene right now on State Road A1A. You can see dozens of officers and sheriff's deputies lining the roadway and all of the side streets, getting ready to follow the medical examiner out of here, out of this crime scene. The sheriff telling me David Jewell walked into this gas station, was shot by the clerk, again, who knew him. Sheriff Chitwood says the officer was shot more than 10 times in the head. Edgewater police officer David Jewell was gunned down in a Norman by the Sea gas station, just down the street from his home. The Volusia Sheriff's Office says the suspect is the store clerk, Eduardo Machado. Sheriff Mike Chitwood is calling the crime scene and surveillance video some of the worst he's ever seen.
Video shows him grab a jacket and then walk back into the store. He walks up behind David and fires multiple shots into David's head. When David goes to the ground, the gun jams. He stands over top of him, clears the gun, and then probably fires another 7 or 8 shots. There's 10 or 12, 15 shots into David's head.
Chitwood says Machado then changed his shirt and left the store with another employee. Deputies found them just down the road. But at this point, it's not clear to investigators why Machado shot Jewell.
It's my understanding that David and Eduardo know one another. Eduardo knows that David is a police officer. Why this occurred is what we're trying to figure out.
He's a
but
criminal.
This was clearly the video shows this was an out-and-out assassination.
Do you think it was set up? You said assassination.
That's when you look at that wasn't me and you got in a fight and you come to the store, I'm going to shoot you.
Again, you're looking live right now at dozens of police officers from different agencies and sheriff's deputies lining State Road A1A and side streets here in Ormond by the Sea, waiting to pay their respects to that fallen off-duty officer who was killed here today in Ormond by the Sea. We'll continue to stay on top of this story and bring you updates as we learn more. For now, live in Ormond by the Sea, Demi Johnson, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
All right, so there.
Yeah, so that's, that's happening. White on white crime, guy ambushed. That's in Florida. And the young man that sadly
If you are sleeping in
had
position,
killed Charlie Kirk, today he had to go before the judge to face his charges today.
Charged with aggravated murder, and Utah's District Attorney Jeffrey Gray says he will seek the death penalty. We are now learning so many more details from Robinson's mother, his roommate, his text messages, and it's all chilling. Robinson messaging his roommate, with whom he refers to as my love, telling him he used his grandfather's rifle to carry out that shooting that killed Charlie Kirk. Robinson's mother, telling police that her son had recently become more pro-gay and trans rights oriented. When asked why he did it, Robinson allegedly said that there is too much evil and referenced Kirk, saying he spreads too much hate. Let's get straight to our whole team of experts now. Pierre Thomas, our chief justice correspondent. We'll start with you. I am just astounded at how many details that we received this early on this investigation from the district attorney. So much to talk about, Pierre. So many details that we learned from the mother, from the father, what they told police, to these text messages is just riveting, and it's sad.
In fact, that's what I just said a few moments ago, Kara, that this press conference was riveting in its sadness. From the way they described the way that Mr. Kirk died, how dangerous it was for the crowd, the fact that the bullet that killed Mr. Kirk whizzed by the head of the person who was asking him the question, how it was close to others, that there were children in the crowd. Then we learned new details about the DNA evidence that they believe ties into the scene, that there's DNA evidence from Tyler Robinson, according to authorities, on the trigger of the murder weapon that was recovered near the scene, that there's DNA evidence on the cartridges, but also this riveting, sad ordeal of the mother and father seeing the released image of their son and not shrinking away from it, saying, that looks like him. And the mother calls the son and he says, no, I was out sick both today and yesterday. And then she doesn't leave it there. She turns to her husband and said, that looks like our son. The father agrees. He ends up, confronting his son, which all ends up at a family friend who is associated with the U.S. Marshals getting involved, and in him being turned in. And then, as you said, the messages to the roommate, which many will believe is really critical to establishing that he did it, according to authorities, laying out the sequence of events that had happened, and also they are far along the line, as far as we can tell, in terms of motive. They believe that this is somehow tied to his belief that Charlie Kirk was sowing hate.
Pierre, thank you. Let's bring in our Matt Gutman now, who was there in the room when the charges were being read. And Matt, you just heard what Pierre had to say. I was listening to you earlier on the network, just detailing the back and forth of these messages with Tyler Robinson and his roommate, and then hearing more from Robinson's mother and father, and even learning about this rifle and what the parents had said about this had been a gift. And then in the text messages, Tyler Robinson talking about it was his grandfather's rifle, and then going into details about what he did to these details he was relaying to his partner about the weapon and why he did what he did, and his how he planned this all out. I mean, it's just, there was so much we didn't know that we now know. And
This is Ford Truck Month with big offers on award-winning built Ford Tough F-150 and Super.
Yeah, it's terrible. I think it's terrible all the way around. He's a 22-year-old young man, and it's terrible. The country is so divided, and it has to stop. And it takes the leadership and the people that are holding these offices that we're entrusting, to do their job, to bring us together, that so that people don't have to become another Tyler Robinson. So it's just a terrible situation. It's very difficult on the Kirk family, but it's very difficult on his family as well. And that's the sad part about it. Everything is all just terrible. But I don't like when we have people in leadership that continue to label people a certain way, and this is the result of it. And innocent people wind up getting hurt, just like Trey Reed, just going to college, going to school. Black colleges, HBCUs, those were the first threats that went out, that they had to literally shut down over 5 HBCUs. And Trump is withholding federal funding from them, from Asian students and indigenous and different cultures. And it's just not right. It's not right. And then they turn around and say, look at this, look at what's going on. But we can take care of 14 plus million homeless people that aren't even citizens of this country. But we don't take care of our own, and our own of just be angry at each other and say the worst things to want each other. But guess what? Y'all can take it. Y'all going to have to take it to God. Y'all going to take it. You're going to stand before God. It don't matter. Y'all could say what y'all want to say, spew all y'all hate for your fellow man or whatever that haven't done anything to you. Like whatever you're angry about or mad about, it doesn't have anything to do with people you don't know.
It's like how I showed you.
Yeah.
That Trump posted recently. This was today too. The black guys, and he never posts white guys committing these crimes like we've been talking about.
Yeah, and that's why we made this an issue, because even Trump, the president of the United States, he's going on his Truth Social, and he wants to hold up black pictures. Every time he does an Oval Office, he wants to hold up black pictures like we're a threat to society, and we're not. We're not. But if anyone paints a picture, they could paint any picture that they want you to believe. But you're not painting a picture of Tyler Robinson and these other killers, like the other one I have on there that had taken out that CDC worker. Nobody, flags weren't lowered half staff for him. The political Congress people, whatever, they lost their lives. Nobody did all this for them. It's a lot that's going on. And then it's supposed to be freedom of speech. And I'm hearing that there are people that were on MSNBC. They were just saying their truth, how they felt about Charlie Kirk. That's how they felt. Charlie Kirk didn't have a problem saying how he felt about people ever.
And he wanted people to talk.
And he wanted freedom of speech. So it's ironic. The thing that he believed in is what they putting a muzzle on by threatening people. If you say this or you say that, they were saying, oh, these persons could lose their jobs, or people being kicked off the airway and all of this crazy stuff. What type of leadership is this? What has happened to the United States of America? What's going on with the United States of America? I thought it was bad with the last administration. I'm like completely confused. I'm confused. Now I'm voting Republican, and now I'm like, okay, what the hell is going on now? It's like, what do you do? I think black people, we're going to have to come together as a community to like, who are we going to vote for? Who are we going to vote for in upcoming elections? Because the left doesn't have our best interest, and now neither does the right. Neither party. Neither party. But what's going on now is causing more divide than ever, even though the last party, they were against all my biblical principles, but they weren't attacking, not like this, removing history, going after black children, trying to arrest black people, using National Guards on American citizens. What happened to the posse? What is it, committed tutus or something like that act? I know I'm mispronouncing it. Then you're not even so, you're going to send the military. The National Guards, or our military, is supposed to fight off foreign threats. Foreign threats. They're not police officers. They're not trained to police. Instead of funding the police or giving the resources you need, and guess what? Black people suffer from, we've been traumatized. We have mental health issues as well, but nobody looks at black people and when something happens and say they had a mental health crisis or something like that. Except for now this guy been hung from a tree. He was hung from a tree. He ain't jump up there. This is just the stuff that's going on has history. It all has history. proven history. There was over 4,000, I think, lynches in this country. It has history.
Jesus Christ wants people to tell the truth. He's not a fan of liars. It's also to us that we need Jesus.
We have Jesus, do you? Do you? See, the thing about it that people want people to say what they want them to hear, and the truth hurts. And there are plenty of channels that you could go on if you totally for the Republicans, the MAGA, their channels, and there's a lot of black YouTube creators that they go totally against the black race.
Yeah.
They go in more than white people.
That's how they make their living.
They make their living off of trashing and demeaning black people. That's not this channel. This channel is not for demeaning my culture or demeaning black people. This channel is supposed to be about Americans, America first, doing right by all the people of this country. So we all do well, standing together as one nation under God. That's what this channel foundation and platform is about. We have supported Trump like 99% of the stuff that he's done, that we felt as though he was moving this country in the right direction. But we do not agree with this. And like we told people, nobody agrees with anyone with everything. No one does. You don't agree with your wife, husband, your neighbor, your boss, your children. No one agrees 100% of everything with anyone, and neither do we. And like I'll say it again, I'm not beholden to man. I'm beholden to God. I answer to God. That's who I answer to. I put God first. And what's going on now, it really grieves my spirit. It's hurtful to see what has happened. And I see what's being done. And I see how the news media is being controlled. How what's being fed to the public is controlled. The picture, if you keep telling people the same thing, they're a threat, they're a threat, they're a threat, they're criminals, they're thugs. I don't even know why black people are looked upon that when we have been the victims of all the mistreatment in this damn country. It's just, it's unbelievable how you can flip a script on people that have always been victimized in this country. And now they label it black fatigue when they continue to victimize us. Continue. Like God doesn't see this. Jesus is coming back soon. We are living in the last days. All the signs are already here. So you better get saved. You better get saved right now. Because all of this evil, all this stuff, they said, like when you call wrong right and right wrong, that's what's going on now. We're calling wrong right and right wrong. That's what's going on. So you got to be looking up, looking for Jesus, praying for your kids, looking at your salvation, because and we haven't even begun dealing with the real threats, like the international threats. We haven't even been dealing with Russia. Putin not playing. He's not listening. And neither is China. They had a world leader summit, and Trump was not there. I don't know if he wasn't invited, but they're all meeting together. And nobody's paying attention to this. I don't know how nobody's paying attention to what's going on outside of this country. You got all this friction going on inside the United States. First is illegal immigrants. Now the threat to black people. It's like we got all these makeshift problems that's going on, while the bigger threats is what's happening on outside of this country.
Then you can't forget.
Unbelievable. We are really dumb.
Then you can't forget what the administration is doing to homeless people.
And homeless people, they talking about, and this is coming from Fox News. People in MSNBC are being fired from their jobs, but you got Fox News talking about they were saying, oh, well, maybe it was, I think one of the reporters had to come on and apologize because he was talking about, I forget how you could kill someone. He was saying something. But anyway, he had to apologize. He just recently apologized, but he still has his job. And Lawrence on there, he's talking about, well, if they don't want to do what they need to do, then they're going to have to be locked up. Being homeless is not a crime. But we're going to take care of 14 million homeless people that enter this country. But our American citizens need to be arrested if they can't make means. And they need mental help. They need mental help. Because a lot of them were vets or people that have mental illness. They're on the streets. But we don't want to help them. There's no money for them. But we had billions of dollars for people who aren't even citizens, using our taxpayer dollars. It's not right. It's not right. And if you're a Christian, God said you're supposed to feed the poor, take care of it, clothe them, feed the hungry. If you read your Bible, we're not supposed to discard them like they trash, and we're going to lock them up. You're a criminal because you're homeless. Just don't want to see them. Just get them off, get them out of the Capitol. We don't want to see them. That looks bad. But they should have had provision for them. They should have had shelter, even though they wanted to get rid of their encampments. But guess what? They said they were down over 2,000 beds. The people that works the streets, they didn't have beds for them. Yeah.
Do you think
this world is jacked up?
Yeah. Do you think that this is just Trump or someone like Elon or Judge Jeannie got in his head, his mind?
I didn't know Trump was like this.
It came out of nowhere.
And people were saying he was a racist and that. And I said, no, Biden and them, it was the left. It was the left. The Democrats. I didn't know the Democrats were the ones that was behind the 1994 crime bill, that Joe Biden was the author of it, who I campaigned for. I didn't know that Clinton was the one that signed into law. I didn't know the effects that it had on our communities and all of this kind of stuff. I didn't know that the Democrats were the ones that didn't want the civil rights bill to be passed, that they filibustered it for 70 days. I didn't know that the Democrats were the ones that started the Ku Klux Klan. I didn't know that they built all these prisons because it was a business to lock up black people, because you're a slave when you are in prison. That's how you still keep black people as slaves. You imprison them. And now they need more slaves. So they're like, oh no, we want the young people, because you can like our president said, they could go away from a long, long time. Long, long time. In regard, because we want to put them in jail now because they might commit crimes 10 and 20 years from now. So we, lock them up now, I guess, for crimes they didn't even commit. I mean, I'm trying to think, how you going to lock them up? They didn't commit crimes to keep them in jail for 20. Oh, but they do.
Judge Jeannie saying she doesn't care if they're 13, 14.
Don't care if they chill 13, 14, but you won't do that to white kids. And they committing crime. They committing the same crimes, if not more, because they have a higher crime rate, the white community. So I don't know. But all this attack on the community, when we should supposed to be standing together, and we got people out here that are sellouts, that are spewing like, because they want to get paid on YouTube. And they'll say anything. They'll say everything you want them to say. Every negative thing. We're not getting paid. We're not doing this. God put this in my heart. And I couldn't even talk about this for days because it was just ripping up my spirit. Because when you have discernment and you see the chess pieces and what everyone is doing, and the games are being played and how people are feeding into it and how they believe, like the lies and everything. And go on, if you want to fact check everything or anything that I say, go on, you can Google it. You can use AI. We have so many resources that you can find out everything instantly. You can look up all the rhetoric that has been said against black people, even coming from our president. for the last few years. I look, I'm not doing it this show. I'm not doing it this show. But this is papers of all this rhetoric and stuff. I'm not even doing it. This is just me just like saying just how I feel as a black female, how I feel coming from a black American. There's someone that voted for a Republican president for the first time. And I'm like so discouraged and so disappointed because I was standing 10 toes down for Trump.
And it's like once Trump started this rhetoric, I've been getting watched in stores more and looked at as a suspect regardless of wherever I go. So it's like once he's put this in people's head that black people are thugs, criminals, violent, I'm seeing the effects of it now.
Yeah, you're going to see more because this is being preached because he wants to go to all the black states and lock up black people. Black people are the target. They were the target in the District of Columbia. Black people are the target. Period. Black people. So when they get their quotas and get their numbers, and then they're stopped. Because what president in any country are sending in the soldiers? When has that happened? What was that? World War? When did they do that? Who has done that in the past to citizens of their country? Can you think of a world leader that did this? Look at the history. The world leader is doing this to his own citizens. There's crime all over the world. What is this? That's what the police are for. That's their job. That's their job. Fund the police. Fund the programs. Get the help in the communities. Get the resources to them. If we could do it for 14 damn million goddamn illegal immigrants, we certainly can do it for American citizens. Right, Americans? Right? Americans? We should be able to do it for Americans, right? If we could do it for everybody else from all over the world, we can't do it for Americans using my taxpayer dollars, your taxpayer dollars, and we can't take care of our own? Really? They want the crime to go on. They want the divide to go on. This is what they want. They don't want us coming together. They want white people looking at black people as a threat and black people being harassed and all of this divide in this country. You know, for the Hispanics, the black people, what's going on now? I'm really disappointed. I'm extremely disappointed in what the president is doing.
Yeah.
And this is coming from someone who have supported him. As soon as I stepped out to support a Republican president, it's like that. If you look at my videos, I don't know how many videos I have. Everything is about Trump and the job that he was doing and just being proud to be an American. Proud that the world is respecting us, and then this bombshell happens to my community.
Now people are like, I told you so.
Yeah, that's now the black community say, see what y'all did? Y'all over there and look at them. Look at them. Y'all supported Trump. Y'all fought for Trump. This whole channel been about how Trump, you know, and this makes us look real dumb. It makes us look stupid. Because then they say, see what he's doing to y'all? This is what happens. And he's running around, want to hold up black people. He's not holding up any of the serial killers, the mass killers, or the white community. Not holding. They shooting. The guy today shot the cop 15 times in the head. 15 shots, 10 times in the head. Shot him 15 times, but 10 times in the head. Where's that all over breaking news? Yeah. Then the other one, he shot the cop in the face. All white towns. These are white towns. No black people. White towns.
Now I'm
where is that breaking news?
Now I'm reconsidering like like who to vote for. Like, am I going to vote
And
Republican?
you've been totally
Since
Republican.
2016.
Totally.
Yeah.
I was saying I would never vote for democratically because they're going against the godly principles that I believe in.
Yeah.
And now I'm looking at this.
we're done.
Damn, I'm going to run for office. I'm going to start my own party.
I'll vote for you, Mom.
You going to vote for me?
Yeah.
Because I don't know what to do at this point. I really don't. I don't know what to do. Elections are coming up in 2026. I think Trump is going to lose the black vote at this point. He's going to lose the black vote at this point. The black people and the black men that supported him, it had over 2 million. I think he's going to lose the black vote at this point. Because this is not what we want. He's saying something that's a lie. That's not what we want. This is coming from black people. That's not what we want. What we wanted was for that our taxpayer dollars to be used in our communities and not being given to the legal immigrants. That's what we wanted. That's what we wanted. We wanted more money going to our colleges, our HBCUs, and more opportunities. That's what we wanted. Because under the Biden administration, Trump was saying that black employment was down. And now what's going on? Over 300,000 black women lost their jobs since Trump has been in office. We've been hit harder than any other demographic. Black women. Federal workers have lost their jobs. Living wage jobs. Great benefits. Send their kids to college, to school. They all lost their jobs. That's hurting Americans. The job report, 22% was a low, 22,000 jobs were only added. That's terrible. That's real low. The terrorists is a problem. Farmers are complaining about the because of the terrorists, what's going on, I guess, running their farms. So it's like, what's going on here? So at this point, I don't know who we're going to vote for as a community. I don't know what's going to happen as a community, where we're going to lean. But I believe the gains that were made by the Republicans, because I was like, well, who's going to be able to take over after Trump? Because right now, who's going to be able to talk to world leaders like Trump? I'm like, oh, Trump this and that. But now Trump has caused a divide in this country. You can't erase history, going after schools, going after the black community, removing what happened during slavery, just doing all these things to this country. Talking about merit. It's not merit. It's not merit-based. They lied about DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion. Black people didn't benefit it, but they made us the face of it. Just like this targeting us, talking about we're thugs and things like that, which is a lie. They are white thugs too, Asian thugs, Hispanic thugs. It's not just black thugs, if you want to use the word thug. But we're American first. And the divide that's being driven and trying to build this case against us, you can't just hold up back photos and don't hold up photos of other communities that are committing crimes as well. That picture is a false picture about what's going on in this country. And I was hoping that we were coming together as one nation under God, but this attack, after what happened to that young man that did lose his lives, there are black people and there are white people that are actually losing their lives in crimes. It's been white on white crime, and it's been black on black crime. It's been both, not just black on black. It's been white on white and black on black, Hispanic on Hispanic, Asian on Asian, but it's not just black on black. And those are facts. Those are facts. And I just believe now at this point, like the Republicans believe redistricting and all the stuff that they're trying to do, they're going to have a rude awakening. The gains that were made throughout the Hispanic community, the black community, because a lot of Cubans things are going on, and a lot of Hispanics and stuff that come from different places, and their loved ones or whatever are being deported. Some of them supposed to be, some of them probably not. And they're not gonna get the votes like they think they're gonna get the votes. And they want to talk about the left. Well, the left are white people and want to blame the left for everything. So that's a community of white people that don't like all this stuff that's going on. So between black people, Hispanics, Asians, and white people, the Republicans think this is going to be a clean sweep. But if we keep going this way and the things don't get turned around, they're going to be losing a lot of seats coming up. The Republicans going to be losing seats, and they're going to be surprised. They might gain some from redistricting, but they're going to lose seats in other ways, but they're going to lose seats. And the Democrats are going to regain power. That's what's going to happen. Because if this has only been like 8 months and all of this is going on, they're going to lose seats because of the moves that he's making. Because he started off real strong. And now going after Americans and imploding the country, still keeping the country red and blue. Now he's trying to divide the country black and white. It's not going to work. It didn't work in the 1994 crime bill, and it's not going to work now. And the thing about this time, we know the blueprint now. How they did the 1994 crime bill was convince everyone that black people are threats, that black people are thugs. The language thug is used intentionally. That's why he used the language thug. And that's why Jeannie Perry used the language thug. That's another way to say the N-word. Another way to label black people is to use those terminologies. And that's intentional. And if they can convince you that you'll be safer, or you can go to a restaurant. I've been to Washington many times. I love Washington, District of Columbia. I have never felt like I wasn't safe. It's gorgeous, beautiful. And people aren't running out to them restaurants because they got too much security there. Don't nobody want to go out to eat and they feel like they being watched like that, whether you white or black. Nobody wants that. They stopping people of different ethnicities as well. Not just black people, but mostly black people. So those businesses are going to lose black dollars because black people keeps this country going. We spend like $1 trillion a year in this country. We pour into all businesses. Why? That's why the Asians come in our communities, because we spend in their community, we spend in the Italian community, the Jewish community, all the communities. So you don't want black business? You see what's happening to Target? They losing billions of dollars. But we boycott and we don't patronize these businesses. That's all we have to do. Maybe we'll call a boycott and keep our money in our pockets. How about that? Maybe that's what we should do. Keep our money in our pockets. Invest in black businesses and stop spreading our wealth, because maybe that's what we'll do. They seem like that would be the right thing to do. That's what all the other communities do. We need to keep our money in our pockets. If they don't want our money in those restaurants and businesses, and you want your all white towns, we don't want to go there. Keep y'all don't want diversity, just stay together. That's that. We're good with that. We're fine. We don't care. But I don't know. We're going backwards now as a nation. And like I said, I feel like what's going to bring us together, let Putin get a little louder, and China and India. And then he gonna have a whole nother speech to American citizens, because we already shooting at Venezuelan boats and all this kind of stuff. We already doing stuff like that. They said Russia went into Poland airspace with drones and stuff. Look, they allies. Poland, yeah. And Putin, he creeping into Poland now. Okay, just wait. Just give it a minute. Give it a minute. Give it a minute. While we want to divide this nation, when we're going to need all of us to fight together. Watch what I said. It's going to be amazing. I need all of us to fight together. And I don't like the direction that we're heading into. This is only like 8 or 9 months or whatever of this administration. And like I said, it started off, I was so proud, and now I'm questioning what's going on. And I don't know. And he's continuing to push this narrative. He was doing it today or yesterday. I'm gonna go in Memphis. I'm gonna do something on that tomorrow. I'm gonna start uploading. So don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe so you be notified and think about becoming a member if you want the truth. We can agree to disagree. I don't even care about that. And I'm gonna get some more moderators. So I'm gonna look and see who after this who's been consistently coming on here to add more moderators, because it's needed, because and if you don't like coming this channel, then you can go where people are going to say what you want to hear. But I promise you that we better wake up, because there's stuff going on right now that's bigger than what's happening inside of this country, and people aren't paying attention to the other leaders of the world. But I am. I'm watching them. And I thought we were going to grow stronger together, but I guess that's not going to happen. And I don't know who's in President Trump's ear and why he is doing this, what he's doing, but it must be in him, to do. Because I was thinking maybe Elon, because, I don't think Elon is crazy about the black race, and he already got his factories, they say, causing cancer in black communities, where he set up his AI factories at. So
got a lot of people in their feelings in the comments.
Yeah, well, that's okay. If they're in their feelings, then they can go listen to someone who they want to hear. That's going to go. But I don't go along to get along. And I'm going to say, and this is coming from a black person, nobody can speak better than a black person about black issues and how we feel and what's going on in our community. And that's what this show was about today, because it needs to be said. I don't feel as though that is white on white crime and is not being talked about in the same breath as black on black crime. It should be talked about by this president in all our communities. Don't just have it like one community. We see all these school shooters and all this stuff that's going on. You got a young 22-year-old Tyler, what's his last name? Robinson?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just going to come and allegedly shoot Charlie Kirk, who did not deserve that.
Yeah.
He didn't deserve that. He believed in freedom of speech, but this administration appears like they want to shut down freedom of speech. That's what they're doing.
Someone said in the comments.
Isn't that your Fifth Amendment right? Your First Amendment right? I'm sorry, First Amendment right? Freedom of speech?
Someone said in the comments, white fragility is dangerous.
It's like, what is everyone afraid of? So afraid of that you gotta do the things that they're doing. And what happened to Trey Reed? They're gonna find out. Someone did that to him. We know that. They did that to him. They did that to him. That's not the first time that has happened. I think that's the second time that's happened, probably in that same community, like within this year or last year. And it happens in other towns like that. Somehow a black person is wind up hung from a tree. Somehow. So, but the truth is going to manifest. And, I don't know about the cops and officers. Everything is so covered up because they don't want the public to go nuts and crazy to find out the truth. So some things they refrain from letting the community know, the public know, but I hope that they do. He didn't go to school to hang himself. He could have just left school and went home. He didn't have to go to that college. He didn't have to go there. We don't do that. That's done to us. And when you see a black person hanging from a tree, that sends out a message. That was a message. That's what that was. That was a message. He represented a message. You know? But instead of blaming Tyler Robinson, blame the left. Not the person that did it. They don't even say his name. The left. The left did this. That's the left. Or, you know, when they were all MAGA. His whole family, grandma, everybody. The whole family. And he was a registered Republican. So this is just sad. But I don't know. But I'm going to be putting stuff up. And we're going to just, you know, say what the rhetoric is. You know, the things that are being said, you know, that's coming from this administration. And, you know, keep feeding us this, you know, the public, these lies. And you can look it all up. You can Google it. You can go use AI. You can find out any or the information you want to find out. You know, so it is terrible what's happening. And I was hoping that we were going to make America better, but we're not. We're not. That's not the goal. I see that's not what the goal of this administration is. The administration goal is to put everyone underneath them. That's what it is. And it's sad. It's sad. This is some of like his quotes and stuff. It's like Memphis National Guard's deployment. Now Trump is sending National Guards into Memphis claiming, we're going to Memphis and we're going to clean it up. But data shows Memphis crime rates have been declining. So why the sudden crackdown? Is this really about safety or about stoking fear and division ahead of elections? It's terrible. Yeah, this is all familiar pattern. Labeling black communities as dangerous. This is what he's doing. Also stoking fear and division ahead of elections. This is familiar pattern. Labeling black communities as dangerous, deploying law enforcement aggressively, and using racialized fear to rally support. It's political strategy that deserves scrutiny. Don't just accept these claims at face value. Look at the facts, the history, and the context behind the headlines. You know, it's like I'm gonna put all this stuff up tomorrow. But thanks you guys for joining us. Don't forget to hit the like, share, subscribe. I never really come on this late. So usually like we get our 100,000 whatever subscribers, whatever, but this has just been so heartbreaking from, you know, the assassination of Charlie Kirk and what his family's going through, and the Robinson family is going through, and what the black community is going through. It's like, it was so devastating. Like I saw a lot of content creators, they were getting, people that never even get 100,000s of views were getting all kinds of views because the stories have been so huge. But I felt like we took a moment of silence to give respect to Charlie and his family and to the people that's involved. And we love to be Americans. We love our country. And it just grieves me that we still have people in leadership that want us divided and not one nation under God. And, you know, it's dangerous, the things, especially when it's the president of the United States. You can't be the president and label the citizens that you are elected to serve. He's elected to serve all of us, not just a certain segment of us. And you have to be the president of all of us. So all that still saying the left, the right, and all that this trying to make it like black people are dangerous and violent when all communities have dangerous and violent. White guy just shot a cop 15 times and 10 times in the head. That was assassination. That should be breaking news everywhere. Everywhere. Another one shot all white town. Another one shot cop in the face. Where's the breaking news? All this. Cops they shoot. White on white. All white town. White guy kills 3 students. 2 of the sisters were med students. Med students. They were going to become doctors. And I think their brother, he graduated from college. And this guy went and went to one house and killed them and then killed the sisters. And no outrage, no outcry. None. That's who we are now. Going to college, getting their doctorate, becoming doctors, medical doctors. Young man in college, getting his education. He's found in the morning hung from a tree. That's a message. And the rhetoric continues. It continues. And now trying to muzzle people that say anything that's not going along with this present administration. And what's going on, like Charlie Kirk, he was for his people, but he wasn't for all the people. And he certainly didn't die for Christ. That was he was standing on political views, because the stuff that was being said that he was coming out of his mouth was not Christ-like. So he's answering to God right now. And God said that people are going to say that when they stand before him, God, they were going to church every Sunday, I fed the poor, I did all these things, and God's going to say, I never knew you. I never knew you. So I think the biggest thing that we should take in consideration, stop trying to honor man and be sensitive and emotional in your feelings. You better keep your focus on God, because we're living in the last days, literally. Jesus could come back any minute now. Those horns could be blown tonight. The rapture could happen anytime right now. We're crossing every T, dotting every I right now, that Jesus is coming. He's probably going to come in our lifetime. He's coming back. And that's why people are preaching that more. Be prepared. Jesus is coming back. So all these people think they're in power and they making all these wicked moves and doing all these evil deeds. They're going to answer to God. They're not getting away with anything. They think they're powerful and they think they're in control. They're not in control of anything. Nothing at all. God has the last word. And when they go before God, they're going to give an account for all the things that they've done while they were here on earth. So they can go ahead and have their meetings and think they all powerful. But there's only one Almighty. Only one Almighty. There's only one God. There's only one Almighty. So they can be all in themselves, live in their luxury, and think they're controlling the world. They're not controlling anything that God has not allowed. And that's a fact. Not by might nor by power, but by his spirit, said the Lord of hosts. So, keep watching. But anyway, you guys, I'm going to get off. Thank you for joining. This was just me, because I'm just so grieved about what has happened, even to the Kirk family and, what they're going through. I hope that God, pray for his wife, because I just see something in her that I don't know what's going on. But just pray for her, the kids. But she's causing is not the things she's saying. It's not good for the nation. Some of the stuff is still spreading us apart instead of bringing us together. And we need leaders right now. There's not one. I don't see any leaders, even on the Republican side, that are bringing people together, that are calming down all of this vitriol that's going on. Nobody is speaking out. All these organizations, where are these so-called leaders that should be speaking out and bringing peace? and actually doing their job is serving the people, what we elected them to do. So anyway, you guys, thanks for joining us. Don't forget to hit that like, share, subscribe. Think about becoming a member of this channel. I do have another channel that I need to work on that I haven't had time to work on because I am so busy, and it's called Pray Till All Hear. And I'm going to be posting more with my pastor, Pastor Philip Anthony Mitchell. He's a man of God. You got to hear his sermons. I'm going to put some up. Yeah, he's a man of God. He's totally, completely a man of God, and that's a rarity. It took me years to find a pastor that I could listen to because everybody's so corrupt, even in the church. Yeah. You know, the lot's going on in the church too. So, but anyway, find a good God-believing church and just pray and pray over your kids, pray over your family, and just do something nice for someone. Just be kind to your neighbor. You don't speak to your neighbor, say hi or whatever. Just do something nice for a family member. They need help or they need financial help them, because life is a roller coaster. One day you could have a job and the next day you could be fired. Life is up and down, so you don't ever know when you might need somebody. So that's why it's important to sow good seeds into other people's lives, because what you sow, so shall you reap. So people walking around hating on people, doing mean things, saying nasty things, and then they wonder why are they being treated a certain way, but they're forgetting what they said online. They're forgetting what they did to their neighbor. They're forgetting all the seeds that they have sown in a negative way. They forget all about that. All about that. But if you want good things to happen for you, why not try doing good things for other people? Put other people before yourself. That's how God blesses. You can't outdo God in blessings. You'll never outdo God. You can't outgive God. There's no contest. The more you give, the more you're going to receive. And that's in everything. So anyway, thanks guys. I know this is so serious, but my heart just was so broken off of everything that's been going on. I've been so disappointed in Trump. Yeah. This was a real letdown for me because I really like supporting this guy, and but you can't put your trust and hope in people. He's a good example of it. So anyway, I don't know what the black community is going to do, but we need to have a meeting. We need to see what we want to do with our assets, our funds, and who we want to support, because we got to look at the Democratic Party, the Republican Party, because both parties attack us. The Democrats attack us and the Republican Party is attacking us. So, we got to figure out what do we want to do, who we're going to support, because we can change elections. We can change elections, and that's what we're going to do.
Charlie, you just been lost this entire stream.
It's okay. They could stay where they are. Hopefully their kids are learning in school that they can hear what the teachers are saying. So, you can hear a person's heart. You know the truth when you hear it. Like if you just got that hardness and you've been hardened by the enemy, he'll put up that, you can't even hear stuff that should be falling on good ground. You can't even receive it because you got that wall up that, that hate doesn't win. They can't hear that. I want us all to love one another. Is that going to happen? I don't think so. But I wish it could. America, I want the best for America. I believe in America first. I believe in us standing one nation under God. Is that going to happen? I thought it was happening.
Art of Mine said, I like this life, finally.
Okay. All right. Well, we got someone that liked it. Yeah, this is a different tone. This is not my normal tone. It's not, But I don't know what's going to happen, but we're going to move forward. Probably be talking to some legislators. I'll go back to talking to my congressmen. I got cell phone numbers. I'll get back being active, being a legislative director, and get out there and boots on the ground, because we really need directions, because the people we're putting in office, they are failing us. All of us. They're failing us. And, they're failing us.
And
they are.
Forgot what it's called.
What?
But the people that you've been calling recently, but
What?
to speak about what Trump is doing too.
Oh, I've been calling the Congressional Black Caucus. I've been calling their leadership. I've been calling NAACP. Yeah, I'm making phone calls because I don't care about titles. You need to do your job. Where are you? How come I don't hear you? Where's the news conferences? We don't need to hear pins dropping. Oh, excuse me. We need what's that? ACLU. All these different organizations when these injustices and things are being done. I want to see them, thank you, boots on the ground and out there.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I've been calling the top leaders. I'll be on the phone tomorrow making my phone calls. Yeah, I like deal with the head of organizations. So I'll be making those calls because they need to be out here and they need to be speaking up. They need to be saying what I'm saying. And they need to be here to serve the people. Because we can't sit back. I think Dr. Martin Luther King said the evil happens when good people are silent, when people don't say anything. That's how these things continue to escalate.
Oh, they're saying bless you.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna be on it. The people know me. I've done like hundreds of rallies. I'm a speaker. I was speaking at all that kind of stuff, conferences everywhere. And like when Trump got in office, I thought, okay, I could take a break. I'm not even returning calls because I've always been connected with the Democratic side. But see, I had jumped camp and went over to Republicans. Now I'm like, okay, what's Trump doing? So this is a lot. It's a lot for me personally. And I got to figure it out. But I am a voice, and I will be calling these different presidents or whatever their title is, you know, in these different organizations, because they need to be vocal. They need to be out here and not the ones that's looking out for their own best interests. And because they want to get elected or they're doing it because of self. I want them to be about us, be about the people that they're supposed to serve. I'm not putting you in office so you can have a title. I don't care about titles. I don't care what your title is. If it's not Jesus, then I don't care about the rest, what your title is. You're not God. So anyway, I will be on the phone, and I've been calling them, and they're interns or people that's working, because one guy, I think he's in Congress or soon to be elected. He's like, I totally agree with everything that you're saying, because when I get on the phone, it's a whole different conversation I'm having with you guys. So yeah, then I put on my other hat. And then I'm serious about them getting jobs. I'm the type of person, I'm about action. I don't want to hear talk. I want to see, what are you doing about it? What are you doing about it? Because this has to stop. There needs to be a meeting, and even if, like, say, my community needs to come together, we need to look at all of this country that we pour into, our finances, our resources, our skills. We give this country swag. Everybody copies the Black Americans, from our music to our dance to our hair to our style to everything that we do is imitated. Totally. You got Asians dancing like Black people. They talking about ghetto, but everybody try to dress like the ghetto, try to be tough. They try to be tough in every community. They like, I'm like, they act more Black than Black people, some of these communities. I'm like, damn, they dancing like us, huh?
Wearing braids, wearing dreads.
Yeah, they wearing dreads, braids, everything. So, yeah, we offer a lot. Maybe we need to pull back our resources and see what happens to America then when you can't count an American dollar. And then we could say, can you hear us now? We have spending power. And maybe it's time for us to utilize our spending power, because we got to stop being the victim of this country. Everybody knows the history. Everybody knows what goes on. Everybody knows the judiciary system and how they imprison us, how they over-sentence us, how they do how the cops can shoot you handcuffed behind your back, and say then they say it was self-defense. Or a Black guy can hang from a tree, and they're gonna act like he come and hung himself. That's a message. We don't do that. That was a message being sent. And we're supposed to go along with the okie doke. Not in 2025. Not in 2025. Not in 2025. No, not in 2025. So it's a lot to look at, but I will be making these phone calls. I will be setting up meetings with leaders. I will be meeting with congressmen and congresswomen of the Republican side, the Democratic side, and they are working for us. If I have to go to Congress and speak to Congress, then I'll do that as well. It's not like I've never done it before. And whatever needs to be done. If I need to run for office, maybe I'll run for office. Because you have to have people that really care about people and want us all to be one nation under God and be proud to be Americans. We shouldn't be fighting with each other. We got other problems. We got a lot of other problems. You know, so anyway, you guys, I know I've been, yeah, white. What's this, Elijah? What's this?
He said white fragility ends.
Kills?
Yeah.
No.
I didn't want to say that word. But
Oh,
I get
okay.
what they're saying.
Yeah, but anyway, thanks you guys. God bless all of you. And I'm going to give y'all updates. Maybe like when I meet with some of the leadership, I'll go live and show and bring you into the meeting or the office, hold them accountable. And I'm going to be putting up some uploads with videos showing that there's white on white crime, because President Trump is only focused on black crime, and that's not fair to our community. And I am going to bring on Mr. Phyllis from Birch Gold is going to come on, because I'm investing in gold and I want to share that with you guys. I should have said that earlier when more people were on, but I'm going to invite him on. He's been with Steve Bannon on his show, been on there. What's his name? Ben Shapiro. But I'm going to have him on Speak the Truth 2.0. He's going to come on and talk about gold and investing in gold and silver. And that's something that I'm doing. I should have started with that. I don't know if I said it in the beginning of this live before people came on, but
Shirley's still going off, and people are saying funny comments to her.
I don't know what's going on. Yeah, so I'm gonna bring him on from Birch Gold. Anybody interested in investing in gold and silver, he will be joining the show. He's gonna come on as a special guest, and I'm quite sure he will take some of your questions. We're gonna provide the information that you can maybe roll over, you know, your IRAs or your different funds, because your money is not making money in the banks, and the dollar is losing value because all these other countries are buying up gold to deflate the value of the dollar. So buy gold, purchase gold. I know you got your stocks. I have those too, but invest in gold as well. So I will be bringing him on, because I think that would be something good for Speak the Truth 2.0 to have him on here and educating my subscribers and people who do love our show. What are you laughing about?
One of the comments was kind of funny.
Well, you can look up Birch Gold. You can look them up. They're a legitimate company that actually was. I think they were doing a commercial with Trump at one time.
Wow.
Birch Gold. But yeah, so there's a lot of people. I think that his son Eric has invested in Birch Gold. I think it's Eric. It's Eric or it's Don Jr. One of them. I know I saw him that he did interviews with them. Mr. Phillips, who I'm gonna have on this show. So we're looking forward to that. And if you don't believe it, you just have to come on and you'll see he'll be on. And
Kurt,
he's a big dog.
Kurt, well, he got educated.
Hi, you guys. I'm tired. I'm gonna watch a movie. What time is it? It's getting late.
He said, "I can't believe I wasted my time."
You know what? I want to do like a corner, because some of the things people say, like the internet is, some people, they are so freaking funny. Some of these comedians need to grasp some what I don't know if people consider some of them jokes what they say, but some of the stuff they say are diehard funny. I mean, it's funny. So I would love maybe start pulling comments that we could say, you know, read what the comments like. Remember, like I think one of the talk shows they used to do like ugly jokes or something like the comments used to talk about the guests and stuff. You know, do something like, you know, what the subscribers say and like have a say Cindy's corner or funny corner, whatever. Read funny comments. You know, just to put humor in it. Laughter is medicine.
Yeah, she's the best mom ever. See what they said.
Yeah. So anyway, we thank God. God is good. And the church says all the time, God is good. God bless y'all. No weapon formed against us shall prosper, and every tongue that rise up in judgment thou shalt condemn. The Lord shall cause thy enemies to rise up against thee, to be smitten before thy face. They shall come out against thee one way and flee before thee in seven. And you know what the Lord said? He will make your enemies a footstool. So, you know, just put your faith in God. Give everything to God, because he said, he who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. So we are thankful. We are joyful because this is the day that the Lord has made, and we shall rejoice, and we are very happy in it. And you guys stay blessed.
And make sure to read your Bible.
Read your Bible. Pray for your kids. Pray for your family. Pray, pray, pray.
Jesus Christ was actually Jewish, the Son of God.
Just pray, 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 you guys. And don't take everything so seriously. Have some joy in your life. You know, be mad another day. Just have some freaking joy. So anyway, thank you guys for joining us. I will be on here tomorrow. Usually we try to come on Monday through Friday. We usually go on, but I had to take time off because this stuff that's been going on, to me, it was really hurtful. Yeah. Extremely, extremely hurtful. You know, and I didn't want to be on like everyone else trying to get a lot of views what happened to Charlie Kirk and all this stuff that was going on. That's why I just waited till it like more like died, you know, dying down a lot.
Yeah, it wasn't time or place for that.
Yeah, it wasn't. So I didn't want to do it for that. So, because we're not about that on this channel. Yeah. So anyway, you guys, thank you for joining us. God bless you. And thank you for hitting those likes. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on your notification. See you.